Hello, my name is Eric Montoya, and I'm going to be doing a post-mortem video for Team Misfits Capstone for the last project. During this, it was just me and Joseph as a two-man team. So the techniques and process or ideas that worked well during the development was the communication between me and Joseph. During the planning process, what we did is we communicated. We actually were working together on the planning part to see what was the best course of action to implement these features in a timely manner. Because we're definitely pressed for time. We're the only two people that made it out of the team that we had, and then we split up with another team because we had the issues with them. But the ideas that didn't, or the techniques or process or ideas that did not go well, I have to say the lack of a game design document. The reason why is because we didn't really have a direction of what this game was going to be intended for. The instructor just said just make a basic game and just go off of that, and that's what we did. We didn't have a direction, nothing like that. But going back to what worked was during the planning process, we talked it out. I asked, we will ask questions like, where do we want to go with this game? What should we implement? What should we not implement? So that was just basically it. Was it just the game design document without the direction? But we definitely winged it, and the skills that I've learned that I found to be the most useful will have to be communication, as I mentioned earlier. Uh, Programming, because it was just me and Joseph, like I mentioned before, and we had a lot of issues. And for example, Joseph had issues about his sentry gun that it won't fire at the player. And I'll just show you real quick. When the sentry gun, when the player gets within a certain distance, he will it's just fire at the player. And before it didn't, but now it does. As you can tell, it's firing at him. Um, so that was the issue. So basically, what happened was it wasn't working, and I took a look at it. I was able to read his script, and within 15 minutes, I was able to uh, fix his issue. So yeah, definitely programming, communication, and the type of game this should be is a third person shooter stealth game. We had it intended for we as Nerf pranks, and it's just basically a child going around shooting people with his Nerf gun. That was it was intended to be. It's still exactly the same thing except for maybe the sentry guns. We just added that in there just to just have a little different kick to it. But again, the gameplay is avoiding the enemies, and I'll show you the enemy real quick. He's in the patrol state, as you can tell. He's patrolling the area. As soon as I get close to him or I'm with his field of view, he goes to chase mode. And then with chase mode, as you can tell, he's firing. I'm out of his game mode, so he goes back to the patrol state. And let me just beat him real quick. Okay, yeah, the start of the capstone, we wanted to have a worms, and the only difference between really worms and this game is that worms was a turn-based game with many different obstacles and different weapons and different enemies. But this one, that's the only really difference between it. Okay, let me just restart level 2. But then the other features was the cool features is the sentry gun, as I showed it before. Also, it's a very basic game. We didn't really have that much time to implement any different features in it. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass it off to Joseph, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joseph Schnepp, and the idea that really worked well for us was Nerf pranks. What didn't was Fate. We had an idea of that thrown around, but it got shot down because I don't think a two-man team would really be able to do that within a few weeks. The skills that I found most useful was the menus. I've created all the menus on there, the pause menu and the certain buttons that transfer to the different levels and things like that, and I got to learn a whole lot more about it. Uh, it's a third-person shooter, and I don't think it differs from what we intended it to be. The main systems and mechanics is moving, jumping, shooting, the regular stuff, but then we have an added sentry gun in there to where it shoots the player and tracks along with them. The current game compares to the initial vision. We've almost created the game exactly how we envisioned that, I would believe. There's not anything newer except for the sentry gun. That's one thing that's really special about this. The player can't exactly just put a sentry gun up or anything else. It's actually within the level, and the player has to actually go to a pressure plate to turn it off. And sometimes they can be in a difficult position to where the player has to get shot to actually press on the pressure plate and get out of there and try to get the computer too. And so it gets real hectic for the player to try and actually shoot them while trying to take down the sentry gun and everything else they have to do. Thank you.